Hello friends, Vanakkam and welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we are going to discuss about Vishnu's second avatar called Kurma avatar. So first we will discuss the short version of the story and then we will discuss the Vayu that is associated with it. Finally, we will discuss the secrets that are embedded in this avatar. So this story is basically about the churning of the ocean. Somehow everyone might have seen at least a picture of it, right? So to do the churning process, we need a churning stick. But of course, we are churning an entire ocean, so we need something as big as a mountain. So what they did is they used a magical mountain as a churning stick, and now we need a lengthy rope to churn the mountain. But where do I find such a rope? So in the place of rope, they used the Vasugi snake. So one side of the snake the Devas were holding and the other side the Asuras were holding. They're ready to start the churning process. Now the problem is the hill, it begins to sink in the ocean. So Lord Vishnu, incarnated as a huge tortoise, he went into the depth of the ocean and he supported the hill on his back. And so the churning process continued, and after some time something came out of the ocean. No one was able to bear the stench of it. They started running because that's poison called Alakala Visham. So now everyone went to Lord Shiva and they requested for help. So what Lord Shiva did? He drank up all the poison. Maybe for others it's poison, but for him it became elixir. So once the poison problem was over, the churning process continued and lot of magical things came out of the ocean. The magical cow called Kamadhenu, the celestial elephant Airavata, and then finally the Amrita, that is the elixir, it came out and it was distributed to all the Devas. So basically this is a short version of the story. If we go in depth, there are a lot of things to discuss, but I think this is enough. Now let us discuss about the Vayu that is associated with this avatar. So the Vayu for this avatar is called Kurman Vayu. This Kurman Vayu helps in strengthening of our human body. And this Vayu, it resides in our head and helps in opening and closing of our eyelids. In the process, it protects our eyeballs. So there is this song from a book called Thirumandiram and it was written by a person called Thirumular. If you get a chance, I request you to buy a copy of this book because I think there is also a translated version, English version of it. I'm not sure about it. If there is an English version, kindly do buy a copy of it because this book is so valuable. It contains every answer that you're looking for in terms of yoga or meditation or anything it could be. So this song here, I'm not going to read it, but I'll tell you what it says. It says about a Vayu called Dhananjayan. So this Vayu, Dhananjayan, right, it is responsible for diseases related to eye and skin. But again, this Kurman Vayu, right, this Kurman Vayu is also responsible for our eyes. If the Kurman Vayu is not functioning properly, then we will lose the light in our eyes. That is when we will develop cataract. This Kurman Vayu, even though it functions in our head, it rises from the Mooladhara and it functions using two nadis. So the right eye is surrounded by a nadi called Purudan and the left eye is surrounded by a nadi called Kantari. So the Kurman Vayu functions using these two nadis. The nadi in our right eye is called Purudan and the left eye is called Kantari. So now we are going to discuss about something very important. What happens is when this Kurman Vayu functions in our right eye, that is through the nadi called Purudan, it gives us the Jiva Shakti or the vital life force. So now the question is, how do I activate this Purudan nadi? How do I keep it active all the time? So before we could discuss about those details, you need to understand something about the basic nadis called Idagalai or Pingalai, the Ida Pingala nadis. Because the basic understanding is that these two nadis start from the Mooladhara, but that is not correct. The Idagalai or the Chandra nadi, which is the left nadi, it actually starts from your right leg big toenail. Even though it is the left nadi, it starts from your right leg big toenail and it gradually climbs up through the back of your leg. And when it reaches the Mooladhara, it changes position from right to left. Like a scissors, how the scissors changes position from right to left and left to right. This nadi changes position from right to left. And then it climbs upward, it reaches your head and operates your left eye with the help of Kantari and ends in your left nostril. Similarly, the Pingalai or the Surya nadi, it starts from your left big toenail, climbs up through the back of your leg, it reaches Mooladhara and changes position from left to right, climbs upward on the right side of the spine and reaches the head. It controls the right eye using the Purudan nadi and ends in your right nostril. So now let us answer the question, how do I ensure that I receive the life force all the time? How do I activate this Purana Nadi? So to receive the life force continuously, you need to make sure that your breathing happens via right nostril, because the Pingala Nadi, it controls the Purudan in which the Kurman Vayu functions. When Kurman Vayu is activated, you get the life force. So how can I control my breathing pattern? This is a very huge question, right? So to ensure that you're breathing through your right nostril, there are a few things that you can do. First thing is, whenever you want to lie down, okay, you're trying to sleep or you're just trying to lie down, you need to ensure that you're lying down on your left side, because when you do this, slowly your breathing changes from your left nostril to your right. This is the first technique. The second thing is, you need to concentrate on your right eye. So when you meditate, we always concentrate in the middle of eyebrows, right? Similarly, concentrate on your right eye. So when you concentrate on your right eye, your breathing changes from your left to right nostril. Now the question is, why only right nostril? Why not left? Because the same Kurman Vayu is also present in Kantari Nadi, which surrounds the left eye. So the problem is, on the left side we have an organ which also happens to be a energy center. I think you might have guessed it correct. It is the heart, because this is where the Jiva Atma Shakti, that is a mind, functions. So it also does the blood purification process. So when the Chandra Nadi is active, there is a huge wastage of energy that is happening. Along with it, our state of mind is also disturbed, and also the blood purification process is also interrupted. On the other hand, the right side does not have any organ or an energy center, so there is no wastage of energy, and thus it helps to increase the Jiva Shakti in our body. So to get the experience of the soul, we need to get the experience of the Surya Nadi. How do I get the experience of Surya Nadi? We just discussed. Always concentrate on your right eye and your breathing changes to the right nostril, so your Surya Nadi is active. So what happens is, this Purana Nadi gets activated, which in turn activates the Kurman Vayu that resides inside it. And this is how you get the experience of a soul. So our Jivatma, the soul, it resides in our soul station, and this place is called Lalada. So the word Lalada means basically the soul station. And this Purana Nadi which we just discussed, that surrounds our right eye, it has a connection with this soul station. That is why the Kurman Vayu that's inside the Purana Nadi, when it is activated, it gives us the soul experience. Through this experience, a yogi obtains a siddhi called Divya Drishti. So if you are aiming to achieve this siddhi, all you need to do is to get the experience of Surya Nadi. You need to continuously concentrate on your right eye. Along with this, you should also have the feeling of oneness. You should be unbiased, okay? You should not have any likes or dislikes. Also, you should have compassion, because God is all about compassion. He does not differentiate. Similarly, the same kind of compassion you should also have. So now let us discuss about the secrets that are hidden in this avatar. So the churning of ocean, what is the truth behind it? In our body, the Mooladhara is said to be the ocean. We even discussed this in our previous avatar, that is a Matsya avatar. So the word Moolam means base. So this Mooladhara, it acts as a base for every other Adharas. That is why it's called Mooladharam. Also, to obtain the divine experience, the first stage would be the Mooladhara. Now let us talk about the word called Aga Unarchi. This word is very important, because once you understand the importance of it, I believe you can excel in any sadhanas. It is basically a Tamil word. You can separate that into two words. It's called Agam plus Unarchi. Agam means the innermost. So when you speak about the innermost, our soul is the innermost in our body. And then Unarchi means feeling. So the word Aga Unarchi means the innermost feeling of a soul. So when you get this feeling of a soul, something actually wakes up from the Mooladhara and it starts to move upward. And this process of waking up and revealing the hidden Shakti is explained as the process of churning of the ocean and the wonderful magical things that came out of the ocean. So in the churning process of the ocean, a magical hill is required, which is the churning stick, and then the Vasuki snake, which is used as a rope. And one side of the rope, the Devas were present, and on the other side, the Asuras were present. And to prevent the hill sinking, Vishnu took the form of Kurma avatar and was holding the hill on its back. So we already discussed the Mooladhara is the ocean, but the spinal cord that extends till the Muladhara, it is the magical hill. The spinal cord is the place where the mind and the Vasi, it exists together. That is the reason it is called the magical hill. So the Vayu Shakti in form of the Vasi, it spirals around the spinal cord like a snake, and this is called the Vasugi snake. So in a normal human being, the process of breathing is continuously happening. So there is a continuous churning process that is happening in our body, but we are not aware of it. So the air that we breathe in, it is called Jiva Swasam because that is keeping us alive. It is called Jiva Swasam. This air that we breathe, it acts as a Vasi Shakti inside the spinal cord. In Muladhara, there is something called Pranava Panjami Vaku. What is this Pranava Panjami Vaku? We will discuss about this in some other video. This Pranava Panjami is the base for the Jiva Shakti. We all know what is Pranavam, and Panjami means 5. So to represent the Pranava Panjami, tortoise was used because tortoise has 5 organs. It has 2 legs and feet and then the head. So when the churning of ocean happens, the first thing that came out is the poison. What is the meaning behind it? So the purpose of human life. What is the purpose of human life? Maybe we have a different purpose, but then the real purpose of a human life is to get the divine experience. So when a person really aims to achieve that experience, he does all the sadhanas, meditation and everything. He even changes his entire life. So in this process, suddenly when the signs of death appears, his body actually reacts. So here we are not talking about a normal human being who does a 9 to 5 job, earn money and then order food in Zomato or Swiggy, because even I do that. We're talking about a person who has dedicated his entire life to get this divine experience, who is constantly in the state of meditation, who does not have any bias, who has the state of oneness, who is compassionate toward everyone. So when the sign of death appears, the Pranava Panjami wakes up the divine feeling. That is called the Deiva Unarchi. Deiva Unarchi means divine feeling, and it becomes the Kundali Shakti, rises up and reaches the soul station which is situated in the center of the head. When this happens, the yogi, he will be able to experience God in the form of a divine light, and this light is called Arutperum Jodi. The moment he sees the divine light, the feeling of this physical body is completely gone. When I say gone, doesn't mean the body disappears. The feeling that I am this physical body disappears, and this body is converted into pure body. The impure body is now being converted into pure body, and in this process a yogi gets various siddhis, and those siddhis are the ones that rises up from the ocean when it was being churned. So this Pranava Panjami Shakti that is inside the Muladhara, it holds and supports the Jiva Shakti that resides inside the spine, and when the experience of divine happens, this Jiva Shakti becomes one with the divine light. That is, it becomes one with the light called Arutperum Jodi. So Vishnu's first 2 avatars are represented using fish and tortoise. Do you know the reason for it? So the great yogis, they observe the fish that it has a very strange habit. What it does is, it lays its eggs and it continuously stares at it until the egg blasts and the small fishes comes out of it. Similarly, when the God, who is in the form of divine light, with all his compassion and grace, when he looks at the soul atom, that moment we get a physical form, that is a human body. And then the tortoise, what it does is, it lays the egg on the shore and it goes back into the water. But it continuously thinks about the egg. So finally, when the egg hatches, the baby tortoise goes back into the water and reaches its mother. Similarly, the Pranava Panjami is said to be the egg that's been laid in the shore of Muladhara, and the tortoise resides in the lake, that is the soul station. So when we continuously concentrate on the soul station, the egg hatches and the Pranava Nada Shakti reaches the divine mother in the soul station, and thus this Kurman Vayu helps in obtaining this divine experience. So with this, the Kurma avatar is concluded. I will meet you all in some other useful and interesting topic. Until then, take care. Bye.